Hey everyone, Eric Gardiner here. Great to have you back. HeyEric.com, BLACKWELL Realty Group. Today I wanted to go over a quick video about home equity and equity rich. Equity rich means you have a house that, say it's $400,000 and you only owe $200 or less. So you have more than 50% equity in the home. So a new report just came out from Adam Data and they released their third quarter 2021 home equity and underwater report, which shows that 39.5% of mortgaged residential properties in the United States were considered equity rich. So because of this appreciation over the last year and a half, because of interest rates decreasing, because of supply shortages, equity's gone up, prices have gone up, appreciation have gone up. So that means that the combined estimated amount of the loan balance secured by those properties was no more than 50% of the estimated market value. So like I said, if you have a $400,000 loan, your remaining mortgage balance is only $200,000 or less, which is a great position to be in, obviously. The portion of mortgage homes that were equity rich in the third quarter of 2021 is 1 in 3. So 1 in 3 homes has over 50% equity. Just 3.4% of mortgage homes, or 1 in 29, were considered seriously underwater in the third quarter of 2021, which that's great news for everyone who owns a home. That was down from 4.1% of homes with a mortgage in the prior quarter and 6% or 1 in 17 a year ago. So this is great for homeowners, not so great for people who are renting still. But 46 states, including the District of Columbia, saw equity-rich levels increase from the second quarter to the third quarter of 2021. What's really good is this is highly focused in Utah. Let's dive into that. States with the biggest increases were Utah, where the portion of mortgage homes considered equity rich rose from 45% last quarter to 61% this third quarter of 2021. Arizona also was affected positively, Idaho, North Carolina, and Nevada. The western states showed the biggest growth. Part of that's maybe because people wanted to move to those areas to be more in a rural area. So that's what's causing a lot of this appreciation, I think, which is then creating the equity-rich position for the homes. Once again, it's largely in the West. The West continued to have far higher levels of equity-rich properties than other regions in the third quarter of 2021. 8 of the top 10 states with the highest levels in the third quarter were in the West, and the region states Utah at 61%. They measured metropolitan areas, they measured more rural areas by zip code. The metropolitan statistics with a population greater than 500,000, one of the highest ones, the top 5, Ogden, Utah. 62.8% of the homes were equity rich. That's amazing. So next, diving into the equity rich zip codes, getting more granular with this conversation, we have this graph where it shows the top 10 U.S. zip codes with greatest quarter-over-quarter increases in equity-rich properties. So we're comparing Q2 2021 to Q3, so the last 3 months of 2021. These smaller zips had to have at least 2,000 outstanding mortgages. So that's kind of like the qualifier for this data. So we see here Price, Utah, St. George, Utah, Washington, Utah, and Park City, Utah. So just in southern Utah, 3 zip codes, which I would imagine is all of St. George and Washington and Hurricane, have the equity-rich position because there's been so many people, so much demand there and limited supply that appreciation has been forced. Just like along the Wasatch Front, our appreciation last year has been about 21 to 23% because of supply and demand issues. Those were the greatest increases. So it mentions the other ones: Henderson, North Carolina, Austin, Texas, Haley, Idaho, Henderson, North Carolina. Here it is: Price, Utah, 36% to 63% increase in homes that are equity rich. So that's the percentage of the homes that now become equity rich. St. George, 35% to 61. St. George again, the 84770, up 40.6% to 65.6. The 84780 in Washington, 37 to 62. And Park City, 84098, up 48% to 73%. So absolutely amazing, great for our communities, great for St. George, great for Utah. Supply and demand are still not in equilibrium by any means. We have a lot of people still moving here. I've helped a lot of people actually move out of the state also, which has helped, alleviate some of that supply issue. But the market's still really hot. It's still really a seller's market. So, as a lot of people, you'll hear those advertisements on the radio about taking out the equity of your home. If you want to do that, now's a great time, whether it's a home equity line of credit, a cash out refinance. If you have questions about that, let me know. Also, head over to heyeric.com. You can subscribe to the email list if you're interested in that and get more updates on everything that's going on. Thanks.